What's up, y'all? You know
What time it is? It's about to be that time. How's everybody doing today? I don't know about you guys, but you know, some breaks, they feel, you know, like they go by. This one felt like it dragged a little bit. We did do the Theory for Theory with Mr. Morge, which was a lot of fun. That helped a little bit. I hope that helped everybody as well. Yeah. But we've been we've been keeping busy here, you know. In the past 2 weeks, Chrissy and I joined Twitch. So if you guys are into that, twitch.tv/RandyTroy, twitch.tv/Chrissy Varley with a V. Chrissy has started her Hunter x Hunter watch through reactions and stuff. You know, I know that was something that was talked about months ago. So it's been finally happening over on Twitch. And she'll be doing more of that tonight around 9:30 EST. She just started York New. So if you guys want to get in on that, you know, go ahead and follow Chrissy on Twitch. So we've got chapter 1041 today. Kip/Seaway said Theory for Theory was dope. Yeah, I was getting a lot of great comments about that one. I had a lot of fun going Theory for Theory with Morge.
Another one.
Shout out to Patrick. And let's see. Lucy B said, just watched Murphy. She's all caught up now. Okay, great. Good for her. Yeah, I'd like to go Theory for Theory with Murphy at some point. Yeah, you know, now that there's no risk of spoiling somebody. And appreciate you, Patrick, for joining the channel. About to pull up the chapter here. Let's see. Shout out to my guy Safama. Said,
Savage.
speaking of that, the best moments thumbnail was laugh emoji. Which best moments thumbnail are you talking about, man? Thank you, Jamal. Thank you. Let's see. Woo! Look at this title, people. Look at this title. Let's go. Chapter 1041. Komurasaki. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to eat today. Shout out to my guy, Enigma. Said, Marvel got to get you to be Goblin. 100 emoji performance. Thank you. If you guys missed it, my guy Sensei put out a new video, kind of like a hood review of Spider-Man 1, but more of a hood analysis of the Green Goblin. My man hit me up and he said, hey, can you do a Willem Dafoe impression? And I was like, probably. Let's go for it. So at the intro of his new video, you can hear me as the Green Goblin. So... Spider-Man. Shout out to FNU TBD, member for 4 months, said let's go. Alright. Now, if you follow the channel, you know I want Komurasaki to put some work in here. I want Komurasaki to be the one to take out Orochi. Flat. Period. Alright? That's what I want. You know, we'll see what happens though. We'll see what happens. All right. Got 182 people in here right now. Love it. We're about to start chapter 1041. Komurasaki. I got the OST going. I'm ready. pudding with what looks like a Luffy punch. You know, it looks like early, you know, East Blue Luffy punch, rubbery style on the punch there. This is for bullying Sanji. Pudding punch. Oh man, Niji and Yonji getting beaten up by Pudding. So, will Pudding save Niji and Yonji after all? To be determined. She probably still will, though. She saw how hard he went to save them to begin with. Ooh, we getting some... We are getting some Zunisha and Joy Boy lore. Okay. Hold on, I need to prepare myself.
It's about to get spicy.
Alright. I spoke with Zunisha briefly, but I still do not have the whole picture. What has he learned? I don't think we're going to learn anything. Memo, no catch these hands. Momonosuke, I await your orders. I have come to fight by your side. We see the world government ships. They're shook. Okay. Incredible, Momonosuke. You really can speak to it, just like Odin predicted. Just like Odin predicted. I knew Odin knew something. You're the one that's meant to lead the world to its dawn. Yeah, we'll see about that part, but yeah. He will help, because of course Momonosuke is going to join the crew and usher in the dawn alongside Luffy. But, let's see. I learned why I cannot die here from Father's journal, but it seems he tore out the most crucial pages. Interesting. Interesting. What made Father and Roger laugh at the final island? Good. So there you go. Everybody that's worried about the Momo and Yamato being walking spoilers, those pages were torn out. Does somebody have those pages? No, we'll have to find out. The true importance of this task still eludes me. It's not like Father was an all-seeing prophet. If he was still alive, would he still want to open Wano under these circumstances? I don't know if that necessarily means that Yamato is definitely going to join EJ, but it helps the case. It helps the case. Because the biggest thing against it from a lot of people was, well, Yamato's a walking spoiler! They know everything about Laugh Tale! Well, now they don't. I'm not as wise as he was. I think of the potential dangers to the people of Wano, and it makes me want to keep the borders shut. Ooh. Conflict of interest here. Does that make me a coward? Alright. Switching, next page. The best fight in Onigashima. Raizo versus Fukurokuju. We finally got it. Everybody was like, is it over? Is it over? Definitively, it's over now. We have the Oda box. Alright. Did Toki tear them? I like that, Chili. That's a good possibility, actually. Serena spitting, saying Yamato needs to bond with Zoro. Yeah, definitely. We need some. We need Yamato and Zoro to meet. Winner, Raizo. It's not hot. Not hot at all. Alright, Fireman Jinbei. Is he gonna put out the fire? I've been saying, let's get Fireman Jinbei. Come on, user. Let's go. In this era, shinobi are free to choose. Fukurokuju. Hey, you're one of the samurai. Why are you still here? You're one of Luffy's... we must hurry. The preparations are almost complete. Alright, so Jinbei is going to tend to Raizo. He's going to put out those burns. He's going to put that fire out. Yep. Shout out to Artrix. Man's not hot. You know, 2 + 2 is 4. Quick maths. All of that. Keep the jacket on. Never off. Man's not hot. Alright. Now we're getting into what I want to see. Next page. Treasury.
Fukurokuju, you good-for-nothing ninja. Where the hell is he? He better not have escaped on his own. Was that tremor earlier due to Kanjuro? With any luck, this island will soon be history. Komurasaki! Does this look like it's time for music? Knock it off this instant. This is life or death. It's not like you always have to wear it. Take it off.
Ooh, Orochi. I didn't know this was this kind of manga here.
How can you be content strumming away in that damn mask? I still can't tell if you're the real Komurasaki or some kind of wraith.
Yeah, we're getting into spirits here.
Savage.
Shout out to Power Rangers. Said, can a devil fruit sword become a black blade? And if it can, then how would the black blade work with the devil fruit? I don't know if we have enough information for that. You know? But if Oda's whole thing about Zoro's sword eating Kaido's fruit ever comes true from the SBS, which it won't, then we would find out eventually, right? It would be interesting if Mihawk's Yoru ended up having a devil fruit. Alright, so we're on the next page here. Something's crashing through the floor. Grah! Is that Orochi getting crushed?
Damn it, why can't I transform? I can't get loose.
You were so distracted that you still haven't noticed. Did Komurasaki create this this situation?
Komurasaki, you half-wit, why are you just sitting there? Get this debris off of me.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, 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 yes. I used a sea stone nail to ensure you wouldn't be able to change into that monstrous form of yours. Oh my god.
What are you saying? I thought you loved me!
Loved you? Don't be ridiculous. There isn't even a shred of affection for you in my heart. What? It's almost poetic that your favorite song is also Moon Princess. Yep. We talked about this. I knew she'd be playing the song that Odin, you know, wanted to hear again from the flashback. I love that tune, Hiyori. Really? It's called Moon Princess. I'll practice it even harder now. He cherished it too. Kozuki Odin. My father. Bum 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 bum. That's it. That. Da, 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 da. OST hitting right now in my head. Father. How could I possibly smile when I play it for you?
Savage.
Savage. Savage.
Savage.
A sea stone nail. She put a sea stone nail in this man. She was like, she came out and started hitting him with the, you know, since we were talking about Spider-Man 1 earlier, hit him with the bone saw. You ain't going nowhere. I've got you for 3 minutes. Come on, Komurasaki. Pull out a sword. Let's go. Alright. Next page. We getting some Izo business here. Taking it back to CP0. Alright. Castle basement. Live on Kiku. This isn't looking good for Izo. We got Machu Skizu. Remember, that's the name that I've given this guy. And that's canon until Oda debunks me. Hitting Izo with a Shagan. Man. This guy went around collecting all the Banjo-Kazooie masks. Is my man Dripper Scarfino just sitting this out? It's just like, yeah, nah, my boy can handle you. Shout out to my guy DK, Dawn Knight 1993. Super chatted a sticker. Well, fist emoji. There we go. Oh. Ooh. This is what there we go. Izo knocked a mask off. This is what we wanted. Izo shot a mask off. Mask off. Mask off. Yes, this is what we were talking about. Another one. Boom. This is what I said. I said the only reason to have Izo in this predicament would be to have them knock a mask off. Damn you, Izo. Alright, will we see their face? Come on. Machu Skizu has lost their mask. Taking one of us down with you was your plan from the start. Oh, Izo just put... Oh, man. Izo put Machu Skizu in a pack. Let me see those Zoropack emojis. Let me see that. Got some... Getting some suitcases this chapter. Why is a surviving member of the Whitebeard crew helping these upstarts? Hurry, get Nico Robin. It's making a phone call to Schoolboy Collins, I bet. Let's see, what is it now? It's just one thing after another. Listen, this is a direct order from the 5 elders. From the 5 elders. You are to eliminate Straw Hat Luffy immediately. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Schoolboy Collins just had a conversation with the 5 elders. Anyway, we're back to Dripper Scarfino. What are you talking about? Straw Hat's in the middle of fighting Kaido. You can't expect me to interfere in that battle. It's impossible. All right, so all of the power scalers are going to use that line as Kaido above Dripper Scarfino. Wait a second. Drake. Alright. We are aware of the difficulties. The world-class nature of this battle is what makes this important. Don't you get it? This order is a necessary precaution. Do they expect me to just go down empty-handed? Alright, my boy Drake is back up. Let's see. Even we aren't privy to all the details. What's the deal with this crew? So it's Izo thinking to themselves? Asking what's the deal with the Straw Hats? Elsewhere in the basement, nowhere left to run. The whole castle's burning up. Alright, looks like that's Hamlet. Alright. I won't let you die. Just hold on a little longer, Hamlet. We need to get out. This place is coming down. Leave it to me, Master. Wanda, Carrot, let's go back into the dome. We don't want to get thrown off the edge. So I'm going to hold. A rare Carrot and Wanda sighting. Alright. Emil, Spittin', Sword vs. Shield 2, Dino Boogaloo. Oh, man. Okay. Hey, you're still alive down there, right, Zoro? Are we getting strong right Franky picking up Zoro? Is that another W? I mean, I said if we were gonna get an answer to this Zoro falling thing this chapter. Tell me you're still kicking. We're gonna claim that. Another one. Boom. Franky was going to find Zoro. Zoro was falling. Oda wasn't going to let that, keep playing out. It's just not. It's not sustainable, you know. All right, finally getting an update on Nami. How did Zeus get outside of the Climatact? Wait, I missed Fortrix, Chin? Where's Fortrix? I don't see Fortrix at all, Chin. Don't get my heart fluttering like that. Alright, dome interior, frontal lobe floors, Beast Pirate's bath. The bath? We got her. What a commotion. That shockwave was insane. Traffic and the others must have taken Big Mom down. What's happening with the fire?
Another
the rest are
one.
okay. Shout out to enter a name. Member for 10 months. Can we power scale pudding now? Queen level punch. That left a dent on Niji's cheek. Oh, the power scalers are gonna love this chapter. Alright, so we've got Marco. That looks like Marco there. We've got Speed. Hihimaru. Kumachio. Nami, Zeus, and Tama. Remember Zeus, who matters more now, me or Big Mom? You, Nami, of course! Hihimaru, Kumachio, you two are amazing. And they'll be alright. Yoi. Just watch out for the debris raining down. Master, here we come. We can't drop our guards yet. The island is still the most dangerous place on the planet. So that's interesting. Definitely wasn't expecting Marco to get involved with Tama and Nami. That's a very interesting development. But I'm really curious. I thought that Zeus was going to be like stuck as a homie inside of the Climatact. Like, now I need an explanation of how he was able to be removed. Alright. Next panel, we got Law's father yelling about how they beat Big Mom. Okay, next page, back to Kid. Should we brace ourselves? Kaido's still up there. Nah, we've done our part. Even Kaido, if Kaido's the one that comes back down. I have no strength left to put up a fight. Okay, we're back to Luffy versus Kaido. Zeus came out during the ulti fight? Ah. Tama tames Marco. You know, funny enough though, this is Momotaro right here. This is the first panel of all of Tama with a with a dog, a baboon, and a bird, you know, a pheasant of some kind, a phoenix. So Marco did end up being the phoenix after all, the pheasant after all here, guys. I'm gonna have to go back to that ulti fight later. Alright. Luffy sliding back. Hey, did you feel that? They actually did it. Burp. This guy's channeling Rick Sanchez. Lin. They beat her. Jaggy and them really are amazing. Look at Luffy putting respect on Kid's name. Is that mouth of yours just for show? Oh. Don't you know how to speak? Oh wait, are we getting a flashback? Ho 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 ho, next page.
It's about to get
It's spicy. 15. To be young. So this is your first time teaming up with Rocks. He's a good for nothing, don't trust him. Something's bugging you, come tell me. The name's Linlin. I'm the woman who will rule these seas. Oh, come on, give me more. Nice to meet you. Now that I think about it, me and that old hag have a lot of history together. How could I let this happen? We just swore we'd help each other get the One Piece. What is this? Is that Yamato? Or Snake Man?
What's up, y'all? You know what time it is? It's about to be that time.
Gear 4th, Snake Man. Gomu no Hydra. Okay. Alright. No more games. Don't talk to me about your dreams. Your dreams made the people of this country starve. Spit, my man, spit. I'm giving Gear 4th one last go. I won't stop swinging until I have nothing left. Where are these punches coming from? I'm kicking you out of this country for good. This panel of Luffy is terrifying. It's like demonic. The one where he's just shaded in, he just transformed, and he's like flying towards Kaido at speed. Whew. People. Oh man. If I can take a minute to talk about myself. This is everything I wanted out of this chapter. This is what we talked about. I said Zoro was going to get found by Franky. He was going to use strong right, pick him back up. I said that Izo was going to knock off one of the CP0 masks. What I didn't know was going to happen in this chapter, but we did talk about it. Said we were going to go back to Luffy and Kaido because it just made sense thematically. Man. And we did talk about it being a great place for the flashback to start. You know, but we didn't get the flashback. We're getting there. This tease of Linlin means it's coming. Don't know if it's going to be the next chapter, but I mean it could be. With this tease, with this tease, it could be. Could be. Robin said Monkey King Luffy coming. I mean, this panel of Luffy does sort of look like the Monkey King also, where he's like, you know, the demonic one that I was reading. This was a dense chapter, and I'm happy that it was this dense. after that break, we needed something dense. Oh, man. Oh, man. Shout out. We got almost 400 people in here right now. Just finished reading the chapter. Daniel Bellows said, theory, Luffy's fruit is the giant fruit, and that he used it to make Zunisha into a giant. Well, Daniel, I do have a video where I came to that realization myself. That is what, that is, you know, that's what we've been talking about here. That's what I think is the thing. And I think that CP0, you know, like saying that their priority now is like taking out Luffy, kind of, you know, I'm taking it as close as I can to a confirmation that the Gorosei are talking about Luffy's fruit. It only makes sense if the Gorosei are talking about Luffy's fruit, right? And if Kid can make something else magnetic, right, and Luffy can grow parts of his body out, what if he can make other things grow and shrink, right? This is what we talked about. It was 1037. I put 2 videos out about 1037. We talked about that in each of them. Brandon King super chatted, said, because Luffy berated his dream, will we see it soon? Kaido's dream. I mean, I think we're gonna see. We're either going to get Kaido's flashback, you know, here in between this fight now that a lot of story elements have kind of gotten to a point where we can move away from them, or Luffy, or the dream will come right as the flashback will come right as Luffy is like finishing Kaido, like doing, you know, essentially think back to Eni's lobby with like that last Gatling blast to Lucci, right? Imagine just like a flashback in the middle of something like that, but against Kaido. Let's see those likes on the streams, guys. My guy Dizza super chatted, said, sup Randy, solid chat. Got to work late, so I won't be in the chat. Hey, that's okay, my man. Best part, chapter is CP0's response to kill the Straw Hats. He basically said, have you seen those monsters? What you want me to do? P.S. Middle finger to Putin. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Not everything needs a trilogy, including World War III. My guy Peter Falk said, do you think it might be a little anticlimactic if Luffy beats Kaido with Snake Man, just adding Conqueror's coding? Not necessarily. I'm not the type of person that feels that in order for Luffy to beat someone, he necessarily needs to have a new form or something. I would like his awakening to play a role. What I liked about the Kid in Law versus Big Mom fight is that it wasn't about hockey, it was about their devil fruits. We took it back to the, you know, to pre-time skip. You know, the power system in One Piece should be devil fruit based. It should be technique based. It should not be whoever's will is stronger, but I mean, like, that always factors in as well. But finding a way to take your power and manipulate it in a way that counteracts or balances against someone else's power, that's what's interesting to me in this series, right? So Kid and Law didn't have the offense against Big Mom, but they, using their powers in creative ways and different tricks and all of that, they were able to expel her from Onigashima. So if Luffy can access his awakening, turn himself into a giant perhaps, or whatever, and then like really kick this man out of Wano, Team Rocket style, that I'm here for that. Weezy Bird said, Morge smiling at the last Luffy lines. I mean, would he? Like, that means the raid succeeds. Crying Kaido's like Big Bomb Wedding Cake 2.0. Nah, I don't know about that, Jin. Safam is getting chapter 1008 flashbacks. Oh, man. Out here predicting break week chapters. Let's see. Let's see. Let me catch up on a couple of things here. Shout out to Power Rangers, super chatted earlier and said, this is super random, but the monkey creatures that eat humans and can shapeshift into them are actually in my race's folklore. Call them Pinui. Is that Power Rangers? Is that in the Philippines? Among folklore. Is that something that people are talking about in relation to this chapter? Oh, from the beginning of the Hunter exams. I remember those. Yeah. The ones that can shapeshift into them. Interesting. Let's see. Catching up on the chat. A lot of people saying Tama names Marco. TTM. Let's see. Sophomore said, you hear the news for 1013? People saying it's fun. I have not. For episode 1013, what's gonna happen there? Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I'm doing live reactions to the episodes now on Twitch, twitch.tv/Randy Troy, when around the time when they air, which is like late on Saturday night for me, around like 10ish EST PM. Chuji ripped those pages out, Chin. Yeah, definitely. Kip said, I think Luffy's going to team up with Kaido and take on an entire naval fleet, including CP0 and the SSG, with a Kainu on the way. I don't know if a Kainu's coming to Wano. That is a hot take there. Luffy and Kaido teaming up against the naval fleet and CP0. Not out of the realm entirely. And then they get back to their fight afterwards. I could see something like that. But a Kainu? I don't think a Kainu is going to play a role in Wano at all. Because that's just going to shift the focus from Kaido to a Kainu. Because Luffy has a much more intrinsic and personal vendetta against a Kainu. So I think that Kaido and Orochi are going to stay the top two threats here. Shout out to Bike Vanilla. Thanks for joining the channel. Join the channel at the Heat on Feet level.
Bro, look, you got the heat on feet, bro.
Appreciate you. The Ace versus Yamato episode. Oh, are they like adding a bunch of stuff to it? They're going putting a bunch of like filler expanding upon it. Because I'm okay with that. That kind of stuff I'm okay with. Yamato and Ace flashback getting extra marketing. Okay. Space Pirate King W for Franky using strong right to catch Zoro. Yep. Oh yeah. We called that specifically. Let's see. The Orange Spark said, I feel like when Wano ends, we're going to have Momo finish his conversation with Zunisha, get a Joy Boy lore dump. Maybe Joy Boy is revealed to be a giant, and that will be the reason we go to Elbaf next. Potentially. I don't see us getting, a lore dump really in the middle of all of this, unless it's through flashback for Rocks and Kaido. But as far as Joy Boy and everything, I think we're going to stay pretty in the dark for a while. Shout out to my guy, Enigma Sword. Said, Orochi.
Komurasaki, help! I'm literally being crushed to death!
Hiyori, Tobey Maguire style. I missed the part where that's my problem. You know, I'm a big fan of the Bully Maguire memes, so I appreciate that Enigma. It's perfect. Shout out to Mario Martinez, thanks for the sub. If the elders were really talking about Luffy, that means Shanks snitched. Loggy doggy. But wouldn't they know? I mean, I feel like there would have to be some sort of intel that Luffy was using the fruit beforehand. But I mean, I guess that's a good way to get around a lot of the naysayers that said that they couldn't have been talking about Luffy because they, you know, I guess they've never seen him directly. So they may not have put two and two together. But they knew that the fruit was being protected, that it was missing, that Shanks took it from Who's Who. So I'm going to need more of an explanation there. Hiyori Maguire. Oh yeah. That might go in the intro for the analysis. Wait a second. Machu Skizu's name is Maha in this chapter, so you were close. Wait, are you serious? We got a name for this guy? I definitely missed that. Shout out to Julian for subscribing. When did he say his name? Heading back. Hunter Drake, the sub. Lucy B said, who ripped out the pages? I mean, it could have been Odin himself. Toki seems likely. Toki had the best access to the logbook, right? She probably wouldn't have wanted those specific things found. Shout out to Giorgos. Thanks for the sub. Heading back to the CP0 part here. I want to see this name. Maha. See, I took that as like a laugh. I thought that was a laugh. Alright. So he wasn't Machu Skizu, he was Maha Skizu. How did I even get like half of this man's name? That's a half dub right there. That's just a weird half dub. Red Hood 52 was when they also thought that Maha was a laugh. Let's see. Well, I think the idea of ripping the pages out in the first place is to make sure that someone like Kaido, or realistically anybody that they don't want to know, you know, the true history or anything like that, would rip that stuff out. Now, it would be like a desperation act from Odin, but I don't actually think it was Odin, because if you think of the timeline, he fights Kaido, he gets captured, and then he gets boiled. So he never actually goes back to the mansion to think that things could go wrong, but Toki does. Toki would know about the logbook. It would make sense if Toki was like, I don't want anybody to find out, all of this stuff. And she's already privy to a lot of the stuff from 800 years ago anyway, right? So, yeah. Shout out to Seller Washington for subbing. So I could see her right before she sent everybody back. She like rips the important pages out and then throws the book out. But it's kind of a tricky plot hole because it's like, why wouldn't she just let Momo have it? Then Yamato comes in contact with it, and I mean, realistically, anybody could have come in contact with that thing. It doesn't necessarily, and it could have been someone with more malicious intent. Now, could there have possibly been a conversation between Yamato and Toki where Toki bestowed the journal to Yamato after, Yamato basically talking about how much they respected Odin, and then maybe that triggered something from a prophecy to Toki, but I don't think the timeline for that makes sense because it seems like Yamato went there to try and save Momo, but got there too late. There's a lot of stuff that like really needs to get cleared up here, but it's all necessarily a plot device for Yamato to have the book. I just need Oda to really explain how they got the book, why they had the book, and it may be something that we never actually get, and it's not entirely important to the overall story. So if we don't get it, I'm not going to be mad, but if we do get it, I'm here for it. And also, Toki bestowing Yamato with the book is, that could potentially land in Kaido's hands, like that. I don't know if she'd do that too. Lucy said, Oda be like, no spoilers. Yeah, pretty much. Fiction said, what if Kaido took the logbook, tore the pages after reading them, and threw it near the river where Yamato picks it up? So you think Kaido has those pages? See, now that would be insane. But would Kaido necessarily need to go to Laugh Tale if he has the pages? Or if he had the pages, why wouldn't he have gone there sooner? That would put Kaido on another level if he had those pages. I don't know. I don't really think he does. Saeed is saying Toki ripped out Odin's letter in chapter 972. So is there actually a panel of Toki ripping out the pages in the logbook? We might have seen this. Bike Vanilla said, didn't Yamato find it in the river or something? That's what I remember being told, that it was like near the river or in the river. And so the pages were ripped out, the book was thrown in or near the river, and that's where Yamato found it. Do I think the last road poneglyph is on Elbaf? Asked Seller. It could be. It should be for the story. It could also be on Sphinx Island. Galaxy said if it's Kaido, that would explain why he's depressed. The journey was spoiled for him. I'd be depressed if the One Piece was spoiled for me as well. Could Kaido be the person that came to his own conclusion that was not to laugh, but to be sad? I want that. I want the inversion of Roger laughed. Kaido cried. Maybe it was Yamato who ripped the pages off? I think Yamato would have said something in this moment. Like, oh yeah, those last pages were there, but I ripped them out and burnt them so no one would find them. But if Yamato read those pages, that I don't know about them joining the crew. Saeed said it. No, it was a specific letter to Toki, not from the logbook, I think. All right. Lucy B saying Denjiro is having a whole Hawaiian vacation right now. Definitely. See. Momo said in this chapter that Odin himself ripped the pages out. No, I mean, we only read it once here. Let's see. Seems he tore out the most crucial pages. Now, is Momonosuke assuming this, though? Because that's the whole thing. Like, did Odin write in the journal, like, yeah, so I actually had some pages here, but I tore them out? I think Momonosuke is assuming. Yeah, I don't think there's really context for him to have pulled the pages out. I mean, it's possible. The timeline doesn't necessarily link up, but it is still possible. Yeah, Lou said, no way Yamato ripped the pages out. That book is like a Bible to them. Yeah, exactly. Someone else did it. Fidisks said, yo, Randy, you think Big Mom teamed up with Rocks more than once? I mean, that seems to be an implication for what's going on here. You know, this is your first time teaming up with Rocks. That would be an interesting dynamic if it was like a revolving door of just like contracted pirates. Like, hey, you know, Ocean's 11 style. I'm about to do this job. You in? You know? What's the devil fruit that the five elders are afraid of? As far as, until someone tells me otherwise, and that person being Oda, it's the Gomu Gomu no Mi that they're afraid of. Fable said, aren't there panels of Toki ripping up papers after Odin's death? Yeah, we were just talking about that. So, Saeed Abdo said, from the Japanese, the statement wasn't an assumption, so I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it just seems strange for Momonosuke to be so confident about that, but it's possible. Galaxy said, you know, in quotes, it seems like is just what Yamato and Momo are assuming. I feel like it has to be someone who's still alive, not Toki. And damn, I like the drama that could happen if it's Kaido. Yeah, definitely some drama. Shout out to Monir Saman, said Ace ripped the pages. I don't necessarily know about that. That would mean that Ace read the logbook. I don't know about that. That would like drastically change Marineford in a not necessarily a good way. Unless it was a thing where Yamato shared the logbook with Ace, and then Ace just pulled the pages out without looking at them, then I'd be okay with it. But that would still imply that Yamato had read them. And I like this idea of Yamato not knowing what's at the end as well, because it's just going to make the journey better if Yamato does join the crew. Shavanch said Roger might have told Odin to tear the pages because he didn't want it to leak. Now, what I actually like even more, now that kind of triggered something, if Odin during the 5 years, or like right after Roger's execution, understood what Roger was doing, right? By going to Logtown, letting himself get captured, letting him, starting the Great Pirate Era. That moment where Odin is crying over Roger's death, and then like maybe there was like a sort of sudden understanding there, right? Oh wait, we were too early. We need that person to get there. I need to get rid of these pages because this needs to happen organically. Like that I'd be okay with. See, now we're getting into the stuff that makes sense. Loggy said Momo's dialogue this chapter confirms with me that he's sailing a laugh tale with the crew. I mean, come on, we've been saying this. We've been here for years. Momo's coming. Momo's on the. Hey, we are on the cruise, all right. Chin said, I don't understand 1040. Not enough panel for the lavish bracket for Raizo's win, but in 1041. Well, I guess Oda wanted to have a little more time before he brought Jinbei over to be Fireman Jinbei and put out the fire. So, I think that's what was going on. Emil said, forget the Kaido flashback. We need the hot mom flashback. Oh, God. Let's see. Artrix said, Toki rips paper in chapter 972. The narration box makes it look like it's a letter, though. Well, hopefully we get some more information. I'm definitely going to go back to 972 and take a look, though. Big Mommy. Fable said Tama cheering up her pets was the best part of the chapter. It was just good to see Tama and Nami again. And we finally got the Momotaro panel. And Oda like did it on purpose too. Because he literally just has them all in a line. He has them in a row. The bird, the monkey, the baboon, and the dog. All in a row. It's finally happened. Mariko said, Randy, which do you prefer, Big Mommy or Hot Mom? Until I see more of Hot Mom, I'm going with Big Mommy. Brandon said, why is no one talking about the Linlin flashback? Her scenes really paint her like Kaido in his little flashback with Albert. That's an interesting comparison.
Savage.
Yeah. Lucy B said, super chatted, said, Rox is a good for nothing. If something is bothering you, you can come to me. It said this was so interesting to her. Yeah. He's a good for nothing. Don't trust him. Something's bugging you. Come tell me. I mean, it goes against my own headcanon that Rox is actually a good guy and was the the mentor for Kaido. This sort of shapes it up for Big Mom to have been Kaido's mentor, which would be interesting as well too, because then it's like, okay, but what led to the falling out that caused them to like scrap upon first meet? Barry said, I'm working. I've got Randy in my ear, and all I heard was Big Mommy, and it snapped me out of my focus so fast. Hey, don't blame me. That's the chat saying Big Mommy. Let's see. Did I even finish the chapter, Safama? Sure did. Yeah, we're into the discussion. Safama's spitting, though. Rox might have been a good guy because Big Mom is bad, also called Luffy a good for nothing. Yeah. It's not like it's... We're not deconfirmed on that until we actually get the flashback. But, I am liking this idea that Rox just... It was just the George Clooney in a heist movie, just collecting a crew and come on, we got one big score. Come join me. It won't be for long.
Another one.
Shout out to Lou Patterson, member for 10 months. Said it'd be crazy if Big Mom's mothering complex started with Kaido and set the tone for how she treats her children. It's interesting. It's interesting. I mean, by this point, though, I think that she should already have had the triplets and Perospero. So, Perospero, Katakuri, Daifuku, and Oven should all be born timeline-wise here. Let's see. Right? Kaido's 15. And Kaido is how old in the canon? He's 59, right? I think he's 59. Let's see. If Kaido's 59. It was 44 years ago. Yeah. Because Perospero, I think, is 49 or 50. And Katakuri, Daifuku, and Oven are all 48. So... Timeline's so confusing. She just keeps popping them out. Steve said, Randy, I hope you take some Tums because I know you've got to be feeling some stomach cramping after eating so much for lunch today. Oh, this was a feast for sure. And a lot of W's. She started having kids at 18, I think, said Fable. She's had multiple kids by now. Yeah, at the very least, like I'm saying. Because I've already done the timeline based on just when, like, God Valley was. And by that point, like, Katakuri, Daifuku, Oven, and Perospero were all born. So... Interesting. 9-year age gap between her and Kaido. 9-year age gap between Luffy and Yamato. Barry said Rox could have been collecting people with similar goals. Or goals he could get done on the way to help him achieve whatever his endgame was. Yeah. Red Hood said Schoolboy Colin's gonna get packed up if he jumps onto that rooftop. Yeah. Especially with Luffy on demon time right now, demon mode. Shout out to Chavanch for subbing. And shout out to Simon DeBeef for super chat. Said Big Mom flashback also highlights why Kaido has such a soft spot for Jack, who are picked on by King and Queen as older brothers. Interesting. Interesting. I'm excited to get the other side of this flashback. You know, I'm hoping that this thing here with Lin Lin is actually like a Shanks and Buggy fighting over the North and South Pole. And then how we, during the Odin flashback, we saw that like that was on the way to Water 7. We have more context for it. Like I want to come back into like the Kaido flashback and I want to understand what happened prior to this moment. Right? To be young. So this is your first time teaming up with Rocks. So like the implication here, like because this is obviously happening in Medias Race. Like this is in the middle of something. Something just happened. And then this is the response that Big Mom is saying to Kaido. So Kaido here probably did something, bungled something up, failed, maybe got beaten or whatever, or Rocks just put Kaido in his place, and then Big Mom walks up and says, to be young. This is your first time teaming up with him, huh? So there was an interaction between Kaido and Rocks in the previous moment to this flashback, and that's what I want to see. Saeed said, Raizo's last speech bubble actually said, what a blunder, even though the preparations are complete, or even though I was prepared. I like even though I was prepared. Even though the preparations are complete implies that he has something planned that's like bigger than all of this. He's got some sort of secret thing going on, and Raizo is not really the planner of the scabbards. But I like the idea of even though I was prepared, because that talks about him intrinsically coming into the battle, being prepared to live up to Odin, right? Odin stood in that boiling pot. He did not complain about the heat. I prepared myself mentally, intrinsically. When this fire was happening, I said, no, I'm gonna, you know, stay true through this. So that's what I like from that. Bendigir said, hey Randy, just stopping by, but 10 out of 10 chapter. This is dense. I enjoyed it a lot. Jay Armstrong super chatted. Didn't say anything though, but shout out, appreciate you. Let's see. Will we see Awakening next chapter, asked Fable? I think. Oh, if Luffy's going to activate his Awakening, Oda's going to end it on a cliffhanger. You know, kind of like what he did with Gear 2nd, Gear 4th, all of that. You know, it's like, I'm going to turn this up the next notch. Gear 2nd. And then, you know, for 2 weeks, we had no idea, like, what that even meant. You know, and then we come back and we see what Gear 2nd is. Same thing happened in Dressrosa. Gear 4th. What is Gear 4th? 2 weeks, we're like, okay, what's going on? And then we come back, we see what Gear 4th is. If Luffy's going to activate his Awakening, Oda's going to follow the same format, I imagine, and he's just going to say, I'm going to try this out, you know, Awakening, you know, something, I don't know. And we get, like, a little panel that maybe, you know, sets us theorizing for, you know, until the next chapter, and then we see what it is. That's Oda's style. Let's see. Random guy said, hope the next chapter is dedicated to Hiyori, Orochi, and hopefully Denjiro. Mint Chocolate said 1042 is the next Luffy transformation reveal. Someone recently said that that was like a Uteron theory or something, right? That he said that 1042 is like a new Luffy form. Shout out to Ramon Avila, super chatted, thank you. Said, Big Mom doesn't trust anybody but her kids. Kaido's depressed. Whitebeard wanted nothing but family. Rocks did a number on them. Ugh. I mean, it's gonna be really interesting when we see this flashback because it's gonna contextualize all of these characters. Definitely gonna contextualize all of these characters. Luffy Hydra versus Magellan Hydra, who wins? I was thinking that when he said Hydra, I immediately thought of Magellan. Let's see. All right. I'm gonna be right back, guys. Give me a minute here, and we're gonna get back with predictions for the next chapter. So just hold on. Alright, we're back. I disintegrated. An atomic clock to sync these countdowns. 1 minute countdown. Oh god. Shiki ended up in jail, yep. You know what time it is? It's about to be that time. Yeah, I had to go talk to Oda real quick to, get the goods. So. Took a minute for you to realize I was you were just listening to the lo-fi mix, Barry. Momo said, teaming up means Rocks members joined voluntarily. It's actually an interesting reveal. I've always thought that, right? I mean, my big Rocks theory is that that Rocks was as charming as Luffy was, and that he actually recruited all of his people by having the same ability that Luffy has to just get people to like him, to fall in line with him. So, and with that. Oh, and by the way, guys, don't forget that the, I know when I did the Theory for Theory stream, people were asking where it went afterwards. There is the second channel, Rand D. Troy. The link is in the description. That's where the stream VODs go. For Theory, I'll be, taking a portion of the, whatever, highlight, and I'll be keeping it on the main channel. But the stream VODs, they go over there. So if you guys missed the reaction to this and you want to catch up later or anything like that, or you want to finish something, you know, you had to go, anything like that, make sure you're subbed to the second channel to get that. Let's see. Yo, Oda, I gotta ask you something real quick. Is Hot Mama, she single? Well, I mean, you know, that's it's like 44 years ago, man. Thanks, Marcos. That theory is a GOAT series. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Giovanni said, I want Rocks to do Davy back fights. Yeah, I know that was a big running theory for a while, but I think that the Davy back fight is going to be saved for something else. I would personally prefer a Davy back fight between Luffy and Blackbeard, like a high stakes one to sort of counterbalance the campiness of the original. So I'm reading through the chapter again so that we can kind of come up with ideas for where 1042 can go. I mean, first things first, there's going to be more Luffy versus Kaido. That's a given. But as far as seeing other things, let's see. Because this chapter actually wrapped up a lot of loose ends that I was worried about geography-wise. So Chin said the Morge one is the best collab. Shout out to Jorge. Thanks for subbing. Morge even said he enjoyed the stream on his own stream. Oh, I missed his stream. What did Morge say? It's interesting. Glad he liked it. You know, yeah, Morge said to me, you know, he enjoyed it because we didn't just talk about the same things that everybody else wants to talk to him about. Like, we didn't spend an hour talking about the raid will fail, you know, and going and you know, diving in deep. He liked that. That was the fun part for me too. Said he seldom enjoys collabs. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Now, Morge said that he's open to doing it, you know, to coming back sometime. But I personally said, well, you know, we gotta wait. You know, a few more break weeks that go by and all that, we'll get Morge back. You know, because if we start collabing too much, people are gonna think it's the, you know, the new Wano report, the Onigashima report, and it's not about to do all of that. But I'm down for the 2.0 for sure. Love to see me and Brago on some theories. Yeah, no, I hope to, you know, to get everybody involved, you know, in the community. We get Brago in, Joy Boy, you know, even the guys that are just starting out. You know, eventually I'll get like Hidden Island, Evil on here, you know. It'll be fun. I want to bring new perspectives to everything. And I like doing it every break week because there's more stuff to talk about. If I did it every week, it wouldn't be special. So I'm reading through the chapter again, thinking about what we could see in 1042. I already know we're going to get Luffy versus Kaido, you know, continued. The question is whether we're going to get more flashback. Because there is the possibility for it, but, you know, Oda could continue to tease it out some more as well. And, I'm Smoking 618 said, any thoughts on my theory that I posted in the chat? Missed what you said. Okay, he said, theory spam. I think opening Wano's borders will result in some sort of physical change of the island and the surrounding sea, ultimately revealing something, maybe the thing that Big Mom was talking about. Well, you know, there is the theory that Wano is sitting on top of a giant turtle, and you know, shout out to Galaxy. Galaxy's always pushing that. I'm not against it because we have Zunisha, right? And if Zunisha is, a land king or, this giant beast, it would make sense if there were other giant beasts that aren't just elephants. The pattern of Wano, when you look at it, does look like the back of a turtle shell. And there's, symbolism, because there's, deities, folklores, all that kind of stuff where you have, there's that famous statue of all of the elephants standing on top of the turtles and stuff. So there's, there's possibilities for that. So if opening the borders is like activating the turtle, I'm okay for that. If it's a situation where, the original user of the Gomu Gomu no Mi enlarged these creatures and, bestowed them with these tasks, took this tiny turtle, blew it up into this giant turtle, and then, oars the continent puller, puts the islands on top of the turtle. Tiny elephant blows the elephant up. Zo's on there. Here, Minx, you go ahead and, this is where you can hide out, and it's like all of the kingdoms of the world had to scatter, the kingdoms that were against the world government, right? And I don't know. I mean, I'm getting a little wacky, but, just imagine I had that on for all of that. Phantom Greyfire said, my headcanon is that the giant turtle was cursed to never move. A mirror of Zunisha. I love that. I love that. That's fantastic. That is, that's the way it would be. Definitely the way that it would be. Power plays came in here to besmirch my queen. Yeah. Spamming that Vivi is just blue-haired Nami. Well. You just don't understand the character, my man. It's not blue-haired Nami. It's not shiny Nami. Vivi is one of the best characters in the whole series. One of the most well-developed characters. Served a tremendous role and will come back. We got Loggy said we have 327 watching, but only 210 likes. Like the stream. Yeah. Ooh. He does forget that blue is my color. Yeah. So I would take blue Nami over orange Nami. Let's see. So let's break down all of the things that happened in this chapter and the likelihood that we need to come back to these anytime soon. Right? Charles Duchem and Vivi for Nakama. Yep. Oh, yeah. Saeed Abdo said, when Luffy says, don't talk to me about your dreams, the your here is plural, not singular. Also, when he says dreams, he says yabo, which means ambition or aspiration. Okay. All right. Interesting. Oh, my guy Vern's here. Hey, what's up, man? Third Eye Guy, Michael Lacoste, said, no, that's actually a great theory. If the awakening of the Gomu Gomu no Mi is to grow and shrink, we assume that Joy Boy had the Gomu Gomu. I love the idea that he grew and shrunk the respective animals. Yeah, that's my favorite thing about it. That's where my headcanon is. Like, I really believe that. I really like that. Vivi is Nakama. Yes, Gio. All right. So the Momo and Yamato stuff with Zunisha. The way that this ends, we don't necessarily have to come back to this right away. We got a little bit of a lore dump. We understand that something is going to happen with Zunisha. Something is going to click. Where is their story going to go? I mean, personally, I still feel like Momonosuke's got to get the idea to bring Onigashima to Zunisha and then drop Onigashima on top of Zunisha and crush Zo, allowing the minks to lose their homeland and have to find a new one. But depending on geography and where they are in relation to all of that, it may not happen. But Onigashima has to get dropped somewhere. Now, we did get the impression that everybody's trying to get safe, right? We saw Nekomamashi, we saw Carrot and Wanda like trying to get back inside of the dome, right? Because Onigashima is crumbling from all of the fights that are going on. Law put a hole in it. Luffy and Kaido are going crazy on the roof. The skull is going to break, and they're definitely going to fall into the live floor, I think. This battle is not going to finish on top of the skull. But the reason we would come back to this is if Yamato is supposed to do something. Momo's already busy. And actually this last shot of Yamato, Yamato's got a like sort of a light bulb moment with exclamation points. So maybe I want to know what Yamato's idea was. Let's see. It's not like Father was an all-seeing prophet if he was still alive. Would he still want to open the borders under his circumstances? What do you think Yamato's sort of like idea moment is? That's what I'd like to know from you guys. We don't necessarily need to come back to Raizo and Jinbei. The implication here is that Jinbei is going to save Raizo and get him away from the flames. Jinbei is just playing the role of firefighter. What should Yamato say to Momo? Hey, you're literally fighting for your life to save the people of Wano, and like you gave up your youth. Like, there's nothing about you that's a coward. You bit Kaido. No, Momo's not a coward. He's showing like superior growth. Reddit 52, gotta go. Randy, have a great day. Thank you. Appreciate you for stopping by, man. Let's see. All right, so Orochi stuff. Obviously, this is the thread that needs to continue and needs to finish. Like, this is what we need to, like, this is what I want. I want more of this. This sea stone nail part. Oh my god. I want to see her take off the mask.
Savage.
I want to finish this. I want to finish this. I want to come back to this. You know. How could I possibly smile when I play it for you? I want to see those tears. Look at this double knockout from Izo. At first, I was so focused on the Shigan that I didn't realize that Izo literally, like, put a hole in this man's chest. Meanwhile, Dripper Scarfino just chilling, just watching it. Shout out to Izo, by the way. Yamil said, if Joy Boy can grow things, and he can turn an Oni into the ancient Onis, perhaps the Onigashima skull was a Joy Boy crew member. See, now we're getting places. All these gigantic things, right? Like, what if it was, you know, it was destined for Luffy to be here? He's fighting on this giant skull. There's this giant sword, right? And then here's the person with the ability to make all of these things bigger or shrink, right? What if Luffy's final act is telling everybody to get off of the island, and then he shrinks it down so that it doesn't cause any damage? Yuri's crying for sure. Shout out to my guy Vernon Coe, member for 4 months, said, really feel like Momo questioning Odin adds a lot of weight to him joining the crew. You may come to a different conclusion than we did. Exactly. See, like, Momo is joining, okay? He has to see what his father saw. Robin's got to teach him about the language of the poneglyphs. It's so perfect. And honestly, even with Momonosuke being, like, aged up into an adult, it adds a lot of really interesting things, right? Because he's probably going to be taller than Luffy, but Luffy's going to be, like, commanding him, telling him to stop being a coward, tell him to, you know, to grow up and all of this stuff, start acting like a man. But, you know, he is a man, but he's a boy. So there's different ways that can go, but we're not leaving here without Momonosuke. We're not, and that's partially possibly because Wano will get annexed by the world government. Drake versus Dripper Scarfino round 2 confirmed? ? Asked AWH. Maybe, unless Drake's got a different idea. Unless Drake wants to find a snail. Shout out to nobody for subscribing. Unless Drake wants to find a snail and start making some calls. I'd love to see him run into Law. Let's see. Izo's a true savage for sure. Alright, back to the chapter. I'm trying to analyze all this stuff, figure this stuff out. Is the Revolutionary Army showing up on the cards? Asked Phantom Greyfire. I mean, there's so much stake in the game that they totally could be. 5 discs. I'm in the middle of the predictions right now. I'm going through them. At the baseline, it's more Luffy versus Kaido. I'm analyzing the chapter right now to decide if anything else is going to show up. The Revolutionary Army, they have so much skin in this game, so I wouldn't be surprised if there were members of the Revolutionary Army already on Wano trying to stop the weapons. So, let's see. I'm rereading this CP0 part here. Taking one of us down with you from the start. Gets a call from Schoolboy Collins. You are to eliminate Straw Hat Luffy immediately. Direct order from the Gorosei. Sword is a necessary precaution. Do they expect me to go down empty-handed? Alright. Saeed, if you're still here, would you translate this line by Drake any differently? Do they expect me to just go down empty-handed? Because that's going to determine whether or not he's going against, he's going to like protect Dripper Scarfino from interfering from the rooftop battle, or if Drake has another agenda. Because saying that I'm just going to go down empty-handed, you know, that could very well be like, I'm going to go find a snail, I'm going to go make a phone call, and I'm going to make sure that what I'm seeing here is reported to the rest of Sword. Like, even if I die, this stuff, this information is not going to die with me. Let's see. I like the idea of Drake, like, protecting Luffy from Dripper Scarfino, though. So it seems like what's the deal with this crew is actually Dripper Scarfino saying that. Let's see. The orange spark. If Luffy had a giant fruit, it mainly allows him to grow, shrink, and expand. How do we explain the rubber properties? Unless it's a rubber fruit that he just doesn't understand how to use correctly. Well, I think it's the rubber that allows him to grow, shrink, and expand. So, I mean, that's the easy answer right there. Okay, so seems like Usopp's mission is to just get out with Kiku and Kinemon, which seems like that's probably going to be a thing that everybody's going to want to do. They have to get off of the island before it crashes. Wonder how they're going to do that. But then Wanda, Carrot, and Neko moving into the dome almost makes me feel like everybody's going to get into the dome right as Kaido and Luffy like crash through it, and then their fight continues inside of the dome around everybody else. Because there have to be witnesses to everything. So the Luffy and Kaido fight isn't going to finish with just Luffy by himself. Or maybe the finisher is Luffy punching Kaido through the Skull Dome down into the live floor. And maybe through the live floor, down through Onigashima, through the hole that Law made. And then Kaido gets hit with the rest of the bombs. And we get like a return of Arlong Park. Yeah. The Zoro stuff, man. Certainly need more context there, but I don't think we're going to get it for a little bit. Certainly open to it if we do. On the Tama and Nami stuff, again, let's see. Marco is going to heal Kamachio and Hihimaru so that they can safely get off of Onigashima. I think that this is all. I think what this chapter is actually really setting up is that everyone needs to get off of Onigashima. Period. Like, everything is crumbling, everything is going down. Like, this is the thing. That's why Marco is here with Hihimaru and Kamachio, because he needs to heal them so that they can move on their own, because they're too big to be carried. So everybody may need to like ride on top of Momo down to the bottom. Maybe that's the main reason why Oda actually aged up Momo in the first place, is so that everybody could ride Momonosuke to the... That's a possibility. This island is still the most dangerous place on the planet. Yeah. Should we brace ourselves? Yep. And then this stuff with Kid-in-Law is basically the foreshadowing that, you know, the fight between Luffy and Kaido is cracking the Skull Dome. So it is creating the debris. There is going to be a break, and they are going to fall through. Since there is so much emphasis on it in this particular chapter, it's very possible that in 1042, that's when the Skull Dome breaks and we continue our fight on the live floor. So, I guess predictions for 1042 is more Luffy versus Kaido, the Skull Dome breaking, them falling down below, and shout out to Mugiwara Desnes for becoming a member. Appreciate you. Another one. Chin said Denjiro part of Sword, possibly. Doubt it. Wano's a closed-off country, and it wouldn't really make sense for Denjiro to have anything to do with the Marines. Now, Denjiro could arrive to where Hiyori is to help her get out, unless Hiyori has her own way of getting out. If she does have a peacock fruit, you know, something like that, and she can like potentially fly herself. I love Orochi getting crushed. I love this. I love the Sea Stone Nail. The two top most important plot lines going on right now, well, the top three plot lines is Kaido and Luffy, Hiyori and Orochi, and Robin and Brook. So we have not seen Robin and Brook. They're the only... Well, we saw them last chapter running away from things, but we haven't had any dialogue with them in a while. So if we were going to go back to anybody that we haven't seen yet, it's Robin and Brook, maybe Chopper. The only reason we would go back to Sanji is if Oda has a plan for Sanji. But I think Oda's plan is to have Sanji recuperate until he can be of use. So 1042, Luffy versus Kaido, the dome potentially breaking, and hopefully some more Hiyori versus Orochi, but, you know, we'll see. And it could potentially, it really could go into the flashback, because there's so many plot lines that don't immediately need to get tied up. Orochi and Hiyori should get immediately tied up, but they're having a pause for a flashback would be okay. Would be okay. Everybody's saying Denjiro in the chat. At this point, it's going to be a big question as to what Denjiro's role in the story is going to be going forward. it's going to be something important. There's a reason why we haven't seen Denjiro in over 31 chapters now, which is the entire length of Marineford that we have not seen Denjiro. So crazy. But his plot lines, Denjiro is connected to Hiyori and he's connected to Sasaki. So if Sasaki is going to get up at any point or switch sides or anything, it's going to be due to Denjiro. If Denjiro worked for Orochi for 20 years, so like he's got skin in the game as far as this Hiyori and Orochi businesses. This whole thing with the Sea Stone Nail and all of this stuff could be like one big brain plan from Denjiro to start with, and Denjiro is just going to come out from the sidelines and like, you know, just reveal himself. Surprise. It's possible. It's possible. But there's another thing too, is that Orochi has been talking about this plan of his. And if Denjiro knows what the plan is, then Denjiro could be the one to stop the plan. Right? So if there's some big bomb or anything like that he knows is there because he worked for Orochi, then he could be the one to kind of Mr. Prince that, finish that off, because he's the one that knows it. But Oda has had him missing for a reason. That's for sure. Third Eye Guy said less literal rubber or maybe more so polymer. That's interesting. Isopod super chat and said theory. Denjiro's neck got so thick it tore a hole in the page. He fell in and has spent the last 30-something chapters floating in an off-panel void. That's tinfoil theory of the stream right there. I think you're onto something, buddy. I think you're onto something. That's crazy. And I think there's foreshadowing for it. They call CP0 again like you had one job. Oh, man. Annie D. Portcast said Sanji is suspiciously missing for quite a while. He is recuperating. He's laying on the floor somewhere healing. It's not really that suspicious. It's really just that he's recouping so that Oda can reasonably allow us to believe that he could come back later on. Usopp and the two walking death flags seem to be the only ones having trouble getting away. How long do I think Kaido's full chapter flashback will be chapter-wise? At least 2.5. At least 2.5. I mean, it makes sense to me. Like, so this act started with a flashback, right? Well, technically it was prologue, flashback, all of Onigashima. When we finally get that flashback, the only thing that's going to come after that is an epilogue for the act. So, you know, this is stuff that we were talking about like 24 chapters ago. You know, I was saying, like, if this act is going to end, it's not going to be until we have a flashback, because Oda's going to want that full circle sort of storytelling. So we're going to get a flashback, like a decent one. 2.5, hopefully 5 chapters. I don't know. You know, really dive into rocks here. Then we'll get that epilogue. You know, let's get rocks. Let's get Yamato. But Yamato is going to be pretty key there. So I feel like maybe we won't get that flashback until... Well, this is how it could happen. Is Luffy and Kaido fall through the live floor, right? Maybe they keep falling. Maybe they fall to where Yamato is. That would be convenient and would allow all of this to work. But even if it's in the live floor, then we just need Yamato to make it back up to the live floor. Because as long as Yamato is there and present while the flashback is happening, I think that'll cover some bases. Because then it can seem like we're also getting it from Yamato at the same time. Vern said, I gotta head out. See you next week. No break for another 2 weeks. Appreciate you, Vern. I hope we get that Devil Fruit book at the end of the manga. So, we all know Chuji can use Thunderbolt. Yep, Pikachuji. Raichuji. Saeed said, Drake said, I'm not dying empty-handed. I can't die empty-handed. So it's accurate. Alright, so he's either going to go up against Trooper Scarfino again, but I think it's more so that he's going to take his information, since he's part of a CIA group within the Marines, and he's going to try to have a conversation with either Kobe or, you know, hopefully we get the reveal that Garp's at the top of all of it. And he just calls up Garp like, hey, this is what's going down over here. Like, that's the heat I want. If awakened Luffy can make giant animals, then Chuji. Oh yeah, Luffy's about to turn Chuji into an alpha. Anyone remember how long Dofi's flashback was? I mean, Dofi's flashback wasn't very long, but at the same time, Dofi was a pretty big part of the Law and Corazon flashback, which was long. So he was fleshed out pretty well. Big Mom's flashback was like a chapter and a half or 2.5 chapters. So Kip said this was such an exciting chapter. I loved this chapter because it was man, so dense. So much stuff to talk about. Saeed said, did you know Marco healed a Sphinx called Tama on Sphinx Island? I sure did. And then in the following chapter, we were introduced to Otama. Yeah. I did know that. And I thought it was very weird that we had 2 different Tamas back to back. And then, I don't know, it was like 15 chapters later or something, we met someone named Kaku also. The Wano Kaku. It's a lot of jokes of Kaido's running out of names. I mean, Oda's running out of names. Catch you later, Loggy. Yeah, we're gonna be wrapping up pretty soon here too. Whew, man. What a chapter. What a chapter. Shout out to the still 300 people in here. Appreciate you guys. Still, you know, we're still breaking things down. Emil said Marco will join the Otama Pirates. We finally got the Momotaro panel though. Like that's the wild thing to me, is that we literally have a bird, a monkey, and a dog next to Tama. Like that's so on purpose. That is crazy. Why is no one talking about the great Hamlet? Oh, alright, well, first of all, Hamlet's commitment to God Usopp, the unwavering, unfettering loyalty, it touches me right here. It's a special place in my heart. Shout out to Andrew Amaya. Said, me and my buddy were talking. We think what Roger and Luffy's true dream is they want to live forever, but in a Dr. Here-look way. So they want to be remembered. They want to not be forgotten. I mean, I think that that's interesting, and I think that there's an element of that, you know, in the story. You know, there's like a theme and sort of like a message that Oda wants to get to all of us. You know, it's like, live your life with purpose. You know, try not to be forgotten. You know, do your very best to be remembered for good. I mean, Roger definitely immortalized himself that day in Loketown. And I don't know if it's going to be exactly that, but I think that there's an element of that in there. Dust said, this has been fun. Gotta head out to work, though. See y'all next week. Thanks, Dust. Appreciate you, man. Yumil super chatted, said, shout out to Pudding for standing up for her man. She did. She did. She started clocking these boys. And putting the hurt on them, too. Like, they're going to need to get their faces readjusted again. Putting, you know, adjust your top 30s accordingly. Pudding's punch is pretty powerful. Who cares about Hamlet? Where the heck is Fortrix? I need Fortrix ASAP. ASAP. Where is Fortrix? Yo, my man Mark Creasy said, yo, my man, my G, it's been a while. But has anyone talked about how Yamato's case for Straw Hat has gotten way stronger now that we know they didn't read the spoilers? Yeah, I immediately talked about that during the read-through. I was like, oh, those pages are gone? Everybody's case for Yamato for Straw Hat just lost the crucial bit that was holding Yamato back, because everybody's defense was, but the spoilers! Yamato's knows what's up with Laugh Tale. They read the journal. Yeah, well, key pages are missing from the journal. So if Oda wants Yamato to join, Yamato can. Will Yamato join? We'll see. The only confirmed person that is joining, that is like 100% joining, is Momonosuke. And then right behind them, Tama. The other 100% candidate is Vivi, who's already a crew member but will be returning. Yamato's case is much stronger now, though. Pudding pistol. It really looked like early One Piece Gomu Gomu no pistol. Like, the way he drew it, so rubbery. So. Whoa, Superhero said neither, please. Hey, look, I'm sorry to tell you, but get used to the idea. Get used to the idea. It's happening. That's why Hiyori's playing Moon Princess. To summon a Nell from the moon. I like that. Yeah. Mark Spittin. Momo is definitely all caps joining. There's no way he isn't. Absolutely. Plus, Momo's been with us for almost, if not longer than a decade, so they already feel like a member of the crew. They've had great interactions with every member of the crew over the the course of all of this, which is like a big part of for me if someone's going to join the crew. And the only other person in Wano that has had as much meaningful interaction with the crew is Tama. Carrot still hasn't even had a conversation with half of the crew. Yamato has only had a conversation with 2 crew members, that being Luffy and Franky, and technically Momonosuke. So still need to see Yamato interact with other members of the team. Phantom said, how is Ace's promise to Tama going to be resolved if she doesn't join the crew? Exactly. That's a huge key factor to all of it as well. And I know a lot of people, that are against Tama joining, are like, but Shanks, and Luffy was 8. Yeah, but the thing is that Luffy is not Shanks. Okay? And Roger did have young kids on his crew. Shanks and Buggy were young when they joined. So, having an apprentice makes sense. Nobody's ever directly stated they wanted to join the crew, except for Yamato. Jin said, man, Randy, your collab with Hidden Island gonna have a great debate about Yamato won't be joining the crew. Oh yeah, no, we'll definitely be talking about who's gonna join and all of that. Unless Luffy says it'll return one day to bring Tama along. Too similar to the Ace thing. I think that Tama's display throughout Onigashima and turning the tide of the war is enough to say to call herself a bewitching kunoichi, right? Tama literally bewitched thousands of Kaido's crew. So it's literal. Yeah. Tama piece. Do I think Kaido is done for? Asked Siddhartha. Soon. Kaido is going to get beaten by Luffy. He will. Big Mom's going to get back up at some point. CP0 will remain a threat. Whoever is on the world government ships will remain a threat. But Kaido is going down this arc. Kip said Buggy and Shanks were 8 when they joined Roger. Yep. Vitor said, but Luffy promised Tama he'd make Wano a healthy place with a bunch of food for her. Doesn't make sense if Tama just leaves Wano after that. Well, also in my headcanon is that they end up leaving Wano, and Wano gets annexed by the world government. And now Luffy and the crew have to leave Wano to take on the world government to get Wano back. So Tama will be able to return to Wano when it actually is a healthy place filled with food once the world government has been dealt with, because they are the other piece of oppression that is standing against all of that. Space Pirate King said Raizo mentioned a plan in place. Could he be referring to Denjiro? So in that, I really think that Raizo is strictly speaking of his resolve. That he went into that battle resolved that he would not falter like Odin. So when the fire started burning him, it was that his resolve succeeded. With him saying that the flames don't hurt, him channeling Odin. I don't think that there's anything deeper. Raizo is not a planner, so I don't think that Raizo has a plan. But Denjiro certainly does. Randy Law said that he has no stamina left to fight Kaido, but Kid didn't mention any sort of thing like that. Do you think Kid will still fight Kaido? There's a possibility that Kid gets involved, because I even remarked that I said that Kid looks like he could still go another round with somebody. I mean, he was looking a little defeated and worn down in this chapter, but more so than Law, I think Kid is going to be able to do something if it's necessary for the plot. Saeed said, we don't know how old they were when they joined Roger. All we know is that the youngest age they were on the ship was 9. Alright, so either way, they're young. Ulrich said Dragon is Xebec's son. Dragon, Roxy Dragon, Dragon Ball Z. I've been very vocal that I love that theory because it fits the headcanon for a lot of my other theories. So it actually makes them better. So it's a great theory. Mark Creasy said, Kid always looks defeated. Oh, man. Barry said, I would love for Tama to go with the Straw Hats. And when they bring her back to Wano later, like way later, it's almost thriving and unrecognizable. That's what I want to see. Yeah. That would hit. Let's see. All right, guys. I think I'm going to start wrapping things up here. Anybody got any last questions and all of that? We'll get them out now. So, we'll go for like another 5 minutes. Don't forget, the VOD for this will be on the second channel. Randy Troy, link below. Chrissy and I are on Twitch now. Okay, twitch.tv/RandyTroy, twitch.tv/Chrissy Varley. Links are below. Chrissy will be streaming on Twitch tonight with her Hunter x Hunter live watch through. She's in York New City now. She just got there, so her reactions have been great. I'm doing live reactions to the One Piece episodes on Twitch. Saturday nights, my time, EST, when the episode comes out. Shout out to Posen Theory for joining the crew, for becoming a member. Another one. Appreciate you. And also, we've both been doing some casual gaming on Twitch, too. People have been having a lot of fun while I've been playing this new Pokemon game. I've been having fun. So there's that. 1042 spoilers. It's going to be a lot more of Luffy and Kaido. And maybe a flashback. Maybe Luffy knocks Kaido down through the Skull Dome into the live floor. I think that if the plot wants to move forward, Luffy and Kaido needs to stop being on the roof. So either they need to move the fight to Wano itself, or they need to go into the live floor. And if they go into the live floor, that opens opportunities for some drama, like Kaido killing Hyogoro or something like that, right? And we have this Obi-Wan moment, and then Hyogoro, who said, looked at Shout out to Court Prez for following on Twitch. the Twitch notifs come up on here too. Hyogoro in, I think it was chapter 990, remarked that Luffy looked like a deity, right? So if it was Hyogoro's death that actually spawned that new Gear 4th form or anything like that, that would be okay. And I think that that's really the only way to go with Hyogoro's character. You have him be the Obi-Wan, he trains Luffy and Ryo and all of that. Kaido falls down through the live floor, kills Hyogoro, Luffy gets enraged, and that's enough to, like, pull that final blow. And it's savage. So, let's see. Junaid said, why do you think Odin believes Momo is the key? I think it's interesting that the Gorosei see Luffy as the biggest threat, yet Odin thinks it's Momo. Well, I think that there's probably a... I think there's a sense of... I think the message is that it's like someone's son, or just a young man 20 years from now or something, because there's something in the text at Laugh Tale that implied that a descendant of someone or anything like that was going to do it. And I think that Odin and Roger had their own interpretations of this. Roger took it as, oh, I need to go out and have a kid because they're going to be the one that's going to do it, right? And I think Odin probably looked at it, I have a son, so he's got to be the one, right? He's going to be the one to usher into this. So I think that's probably the thinking. But Momonosuke technically will usher the dawn in. Shout out to Blue Dragonfly 81. Thanks for following on Twitch. I think that just by Momo being on Luffy's ship, riding to Laugh Tale, and all of that, that is going to be enough to usher in the new dawn the way that Odin wanted it to be. Who is the MVP? Hiyori. Hiyori was the MVP. Seastone Needle? Come on. That was amazing. I couldn't have asked for something better. Like, I love love when someone does something like just a little tricky. It's a little tricky, you know? And it also is a callback to, you know, Hawkins using them too, right? Because he threw one at Law, and then Law, like, couldn't do a room or anything. So it brought that stuff back. Let's see. Checking the chat. And there's a dawn every day. Red Phoenix said Orochi got nailed by Hiyori and didn't even notice. Shout out to Orochi saying, this is life or death. It's not like you always have to wear it. Take it off. This man's a savage. And he runs a brothel, so I know he's used those lines before in other contexts. Still surprised that Orochi didn't notice getting punctured by the sea stone nail. Well, he was too infatuated. He just probably thought it was the burning love that he had for Komurasaki. Support for Ukraine for sure. Yes. Yeah. Okay. What a chapter. All right. So analysis will be out on Sunday or Monday. Chrissy's going to be streaming later tonight with some Hunter x Hunter. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow night with the new One Piece episode. And then we're going to be back here for 1042 next Friday. I want to thank everybody for being here. I'm going to wrap this stream up. And I'll catch everybody real soon. All right? Hit us with the burning passion. You know it. You know it. The love is piercing my heart. Exactly. So what are Robin and Brooke going to do now that CP0 aren't chasing them? I don't know. We still might see Schoolboy Collins go after them, though. We need some Robin and Brooke context. What time is Chrissy streaming? It's going to be like 9:30 EST. So just, if you go to the link in the description and follow her, you'll get a notification. So, and yeah, we'll figure it all out. Great stream, Randy. See you guys on Twitch. I'll see you on Twitch, Chitty. Thanks so much, guys. Ending the stream. Talk more about things in the comments of the analysis, and next week. All right, here we go. Or on Twitch. 9 p.m. EST, Jen. PM. Late night. Late night for us. Bye, guys.